Okay, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Stupid, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. In the last part, we got fired, and in this part, Adine is making a nuisance of herself. Can't I even get a few minutes before I go? I suppose nobody's stopping us, but make us quick. Hey, Stupid, what's going on here? Something serious happened, looks like I have to leave. Right now? Why? It was the minister's decision, not mine. You'll hear all about it soon enough. Does this have anything to do with what I've been hearing? Is Reza really a murderer? Probably. Oh. Well, what does that make you? I don't have anything to do with that. I was helping the police find him. Then why are you leaving? They don't want me to stay here with all this going on. It's for my own safety. Or that's what they keep telling me anyway. Well, it was nice to get to know you at least. Likewise. I guess I should get going. Goodbye, Stupid. Goodbye, Adine. Is this gonna be a, like a long walk where all the 5 or 6 or however main characters, main dragons that I've been interacting with, just come and say goodbye or something? I remember her. That was the witness from Reza's first murder. Do you know her? Yeah. I guess. I see. Or is that just a random choice of who shows up? A few minutes later, we arrived at the portal, standing on as proud as ever in defiance of the elements. How many years had the structure survived before it was found? Yeah, I think, going off of memory, I spent equal amounts of time with Remy, Adine, and Anna. And, Adine was the only one who showed up. Could be wrong about how that works, though. I hope I can remember how this thing works. And if I remember, it's only active for like 15 minutes in the middle of the night, and it's clearly not the middle of the night right now, so maybe it doesn't work. Are you joking? Yeah, sorry, I got it. Alright, I suppose it's time for us to say goodbye. Let's keep it professional. I don't like to mix personal matters with work. He looked away and I shrugged. Go ahead and turn it on then. Would you stand between the pillars, please? Of course. I took my place and stared off to the horizon while I thought about what would happen now, in this world and others. Even if I made a break for it, I'd become a fugitive, no better than Reza. It would be so near impossible to investigate the case by myself, while on the run in the world I knew so little about. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. Nevertheless, and also, the texture in the background is dragon scales, and I've just realized that, and I've been wondering what it was, the other times it came up in the story before this, and that's dragon scales. Haha, I'm observant. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. Nevertheless, I dreaded going back empty-handed and returning to my old life in our ruined city. Any second now, the teleportation process would start, disintegrating my body before I would reappear on the other side, back in my dying world. I wondered if there was any risk of getting lost somewhere between worlds. We didn't really know how the portals worked after all. Maybe I would be flung somewhere else in space-time, or it might affect my body in some way. I hadn't noticed any unusual changes in my body since I arrived in the Dragon's world, but I had no way of knowing if there are potential long-term side effects. Like that one guy on Timeline who had like his bullet vessels misaligned for time traveling too much or whatever it was. I still remember the images I saw when I teleported the first time, the vivid sights and patterns. People and situations I have recognized since then. It only took a moment to arrive at the other side of the portal, yet it felt like I dreamed 1,000 dreams. And during the nights I spent here, those dreams had often reappeared. Any time now, I would undergo the same experience again. I was almost relieved that my adventure was over. You're dragging this out. You are totally going to get stuck here because the portal is only active in the middle of the night, and between then and now, something big is going to go down, isn't it? Things had turned out far differently than I expected. I evaded danger, got swept up in a murder investigation, and met incredible intelligent beings in several different species. It had certainly been a time to remember. With that thought, I closed my eyes and braced myself for the moment that would come any second now. But that moment never came. The next thing that did happen was that I heard Sebastian's voice. It's not working. Are you joking again? No, really, it's not working. Wait, what is this? Oh, okay, the generator got ransacked. It's broken. Can you fix it? I don't think so. This doesn't look like a simple act of vandalism. It looks like some parts were torn out. I guess that means I'm not leaving, huh? That's really convenient, because that means I don't have to, like, get everything done before midnight or whatever it is. Not yet, at least. Well, what do we do now? Let's head back. The chief has to know about this right away. You mean you guys don't have like a lock on that compartment in the generator, in the portal or whatever? Seems like an oversight. We were back at the ministry before long, and Mara and Bryce were still outside as Remy approached the two of them again. Hey, it's the nerd with a tie. The nerd with a tie. Yes, all my words are just mushed together into one single word, without any spaces or pauses between them. Here are the case files, Emira. Why, thank you. Stupid and an officer, what is this about? That is what I would like to know. Please, officer, enlighten me. Why has my order not been carried out? The portal is broken. Broken? Yeah, it looks like someone's tampered with it and stole the parts. I couldn't even get the interface to turn on. We'll check it out once I'm done here. I suppose Stupid will stay with us for a little longer after all. You like, realize that much more quickly than I was expecting you would. Seeing how this is an emergency situation, I will make this short. Chief, as a result of your carelessness regarding Maverick and Reza, you are temporarily removed from any duties related to the humans. Given the dangerous times, you will instead serve as my personal escort until further notice. Considering that, are you even allowed to do that? Like, are you allowed to just have your department boss the police department around? I don't know exactly where she is in the hierarchy, you know? I know she's pretty far up, but like, didn't someone say just a minute ago that the police department and her department were like completely separate? Considering the circumstances, you will be allowed to coordinate the investigation of the portal, but after that, you are to immediately return to me to start your new task. Understood? Understood. Then all of you are dismissed. She turned to leave, Remy trailing after her. Alright, let's head back to the portal. That includes you, Stupid. Of course. Alright, so we walked there, we walked back, and now we're walking there again. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. Hey! What's this? And the music just cut off. Emira probably dropped one of her case files. Either her or her assistant. You better bring that to her. Sebastian and I should hurry to the portal. Meet us there afterwards, okay? I'm the one you're having bring the paper to her? You were so eager to get rid of me a minute ago. I picked up the sheet of paper and started reading. It was about what had happened when I met Reza at the portal. Of course, it didn't say anything I already knew. Why is the story telling me this? Is Emira conspiring with somebody or somebody else now? As I walked up the stairs, I wondered if it was okay for an unauthorized person to enter a building. All I knew about the place was that Emira worked there. I did have an important document that was going to be missed, so I walked inside, only to be greeted by an empty lobby. Luckily, there were some signs directing me to Emira's office. If you run, you might get there quicker. It didn't take me long to find it, and I heard voices when I approached the door. By the way, what happened to the scroll you brought me this morning? The last time I saw it, it did not have that tear. I dropped it. Tell me something new for once. Okay, so someone else dropped it. It wasn't me. It must have been in a box that somebody else dropped when they tripped in the library. Am I supposed to believe that? Remy, are you aware of how much this costs? Repairing and replacing artifacts is not cheap. It was me, wasn't it? I am afraid we will have to deduct this from your wage again. I see. You are not doing this on purpose, are you? Of course not. You have been working for me for a long time now. I expect you to learn at some point, but you are very resistant to do so. Not wanting to listen to this any longer, I decided to knock. There were a few seconds of silence. Please, come in. I only opened the door long enough to hand Remy the sheet of paper. I think he dropped this outside. After I closed the door and started to walk away, I heard the voices resume. This is one of the case files you requested. You must have dropped it. Then why was it left outside? As my assistant, you should have paid more attention. If this got into the wrong hands, someone could get in trouble. Alright, so he's just getting chewed out just for fun. We're back at the portal. I made my way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can confirm that it's not turning on. I told you that already. I just wanted to be sure. You really think it would still work with a chunk of it ripped out? Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how the portal works. It was worth another try. There you are, Stupid. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either. In that case, we should start thinking about the who and the when. There are patrols assigned to the portal and the surrounding area day and night. If someone tampered with the portal, they must have seen something. Today's day patrol didn't notice anything unusual, though. Okay, so you don't have a lock on it, but I guess having a security guard is better than nothing. I guess she just missed the part about the portal being vandalized. It'd be easy to overlook. It's a small part of the machine, and it's not like she was expected to check every square inch of it with each lap around the area. What about the night portal then? The night portal, the night patrol. When I went over the reports in the morning, I noticed the night patrol hadn't handed theirs in yet. And who was patrolling last night? Let me think for a minute. The schedule always goes in a certain order, so the last night would have been... Damn. What is it? The night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the recent chaos. Forgot to find a replacement for him when he went on sick leave. Maybe Emerald was right to take me off the case. So there was no night guard here at all. That's right. Whoever it was had an easy time doing whatever they wanted. Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one else was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage. He couldn't have known that I'd forgotten to find a replacement, though. I don't usually slip up like this. What about Reza? Why would he have done it? He'd be cutting off his only way out. No, he'd be doing something smart. If he has the part he needed to get the portal working again, he's in control of who gets to use it. He's cutting off our ability to communicate with mankind. We wouldn't be able to inform them of Reza's actions. Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for this long. If your theory is true, that would be proof that Reza's actions are his own, not humanity's. Hey, I already trust you on that. Or it's a stunt to grant humanity plausible deniability. Plausible deniability. That's a fun phrase to say. No way, things are too dire for the humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially for that. I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they'd benefit, though. There must be something we're not aware of. Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. If no one else was here to guard the portal, anyone could have broken it. It doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with Reza or Maverick. How much time has elapsed since I started here? Because, we don't know. Do we know how long the portal's been ripped up? Because he could have, like, gone there every day that Maverick, or every night anyway, that Maverick was supposed to be there. And done whatever he was doing. Like, he could have jumped through it and then jumped back because he knew there would be no guards. Or whatever. The possibilities. But they still would have the greatest motives. Sure, but they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. There could be private groups who are interested in the technology or its significance as a human artifact. So that puts us exactly nowhere. At least as far as speculation is concerned. It's about time for forensics to show up anyway. Let's hope they can pull some clues from all this. Sebastian, can you take it from here? You've been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I'll have to be at the minister's side for a while, I'd like you to take charge of the investigation for now. Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down. What's up with that, anyway? Being appointed as Emra's bodyguard as punishment just seems strange to me. Are you kidding? I could have lost my job. This is a way better outcome. Honestly, she probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. If that's all, I'm going to head back to the ministry. I shouldn't keep her waiting. Random thought, and this was spinning around my head for a while, but I've just recently been able to, like, put words to it. Emra reminds me of Coin from the Hunger Games. She's probably not, right? Regardless, you're gonna scoot off, so what does that make you now? Temporary chief? More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while the forensics does their job. Thanks for your help. I assume you can find your way back to your apartment. Yeah, of course. Alright, I'll see you later then. See you. I considered spending my free time roaming the town, but decided that would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimentary meal, I considered picking up another book when the doorbell rang. Hey, stupid. Hey, Sebastian, did you need my help again? We're just a small town police department, and with Bryce removed from the case, our resources are thinner than ever. I understand, so what do you have for me? Have to remember to stretch myself once in a while. First up is the primary witness in the latest murder, the victim's colleague, Anna. She was the one who found his body. A few things have changed since this morning, and we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. She can be found in the production facility. You seem interested in the underground building found near the portal. I realized... Wait, you're not interested in the underground building found near the portal? I realized you might actually be able to help us with that. Since it's suspected to be of human origin, your opinion would be greatly appreciated. I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume. Maybe human matters consultant would be more appropriate. Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries? Oh, you wouldn't actually go there in person. I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion. Is this going to be another library sorting minigame? I hope so, that was fun. Besides, no one else is allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is the danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen. Flooding? Yes. The whole building is underground, and we've determined that there is a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything, and everyone inside. I see. So we also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported to seeing and hearing something, so it's probably worth it to ask him a few questions. Alright, here are the details. Visit me at the department once you're done. Sure thing. Okay, so I get the impression that I'm going to want to take out another sheet of paper and make notes. I was interested that they still relied on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with the police matters after everything that had happened. You see, I get the feeling that the police department is okay with me being around, and it's just the politics that isn't, the government. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on their side apparently outweighed the risks. Though I have to wonder who would have to be more careful from now on. Let's see. So what should I do? Visit the production facility, visit the police archives, and visit the store. I am going to go to the store first. I actually ate lunch before I sat down to record today, so I'm okay. Oh, it's her again. If you've mixed up the prescriptions again, then I can't help you. I can't refill this one. Was that a crossfade? We're just about to close, so you'll have to bring the right one tomorrow. Hello, stupid. How can I help you? Actually, I'm about to close up here, so please make it quick. I'm here on behalf of the police, and I was hoping that you could answer a few questions. I see. Well, as long as you'd make it quick, I have to leave for my other job soon. This guy looks like an Argonian. I guess it's the coloration and the particular design of the spines. I don't see any wings. Do you actually have wings? That also contributes to it. Vera, what are you still doing here? I already told you. You have to come back tomorrow. Here, have a lolly on the house. I guess she doesn't want it. What's the deal with her? I'm not sure what's up with her lately. This isn't the first time this has happened. One time the doctor forgets to issue a new prescription, another time she brings me an expired one instead of a new one. Am I supposed to be suspicious? She isn't exactly the brightest, but this is unusual even for her. So, what do you want to know? As I said, this is about an ongoing police investigation. You reported seeing something yesterday evening, and any information you have could help. Can you tell me exactly what happened? Of course. This was after I came back from my second job, so around 2 or 3 in the morning. It was dark, and I couldn't make out much, but the police requested that anything unusual be reported. And what did you see? There was a human-like figure walking away from the production facility. Seemed to be in a hurry, too. Interesting. And you are sure this was a human? Unmistakably so. I can't make out the details, though. Honestly, if you were the figure, I would have been able to tell the difference. What did you do when you saw it? Nothing. I was on my way home, and it was a little unusual, but I wouldn't have bothered to mention it under normal circumstances. I only did because of the police request from the witness. Do you know what direction the person went? 1 second. It will be easier to draw a sketch for you. That would be great. Thanks. He grabbed a piece of paper and drew on it with a thick felt-tip pen. I want a piece of paper. Hang on. Okay, paper has been acquired. We're in business. Here, this is the east entry of the facility, and this is where they went. So are you gonna, like, show me the drawing? So away from the main district. I guess so. Okay, that will be all. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. Oh, come on. I wanted to collect the paper and have a look at it. Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door while I was gone. Don't go to the portal, was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but that was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled, and unless Razor has got an extra, like, container of lemons on hand when he's on the run, that would be logistically a little difficult. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As it was out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. I looked outside the window at the portal's faint silhouette in the distance. The paper rustled between my fingers as I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message's sender and significance. My train of thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire, echoing from the portal. Can you see it, like, from your window? Like, can you see what's going on just from your window without even opening the door? Because that's probably the safer place to observe. I had to think fast. The gunshots ensured Ray's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? If this was his first attempt to flee back to the human world, he would receive a rather unpleasant surprise the moment he would try to use the portal. Or maybe Sebastian's theory was correct, and Reza held the part needed to repair the portal, in which case his escape could be imminent. Would it have been wise for Sebastian and Bryce to, like, take another part out of the portal, so even if Reza did try and go back, fix it, and jump through, he wouldn't have been able to because something else was broken? Unless they, like, didn't know how to fix it themselves in case they ever, like, needed to. The gunshots themselves were another question. Was someone trying to stop him? The police control may have seen him, and he may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. But all of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Besides, it was only evening, and town was still... It was only evening, and the town was still bustling. If Reza wanted to stay hidden, he was doing a rather poor job at it. Okay. So, there was of course, there was also the possibility that he wanted to be heard, but who would he want to attract? The police? Maverick? The protagonist? Probably. It could easily be a trap for those hunting him, and that technically included me, though I wasn't sure if he knew of my involvement in the investigation. I mean, saying don't go to the portal, and then shooting a gun by the portal, definitely makes it sound like you want me to go there, just saying. It was also a very real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless, the words I held in my hands were unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. What should I do? I am going to... If this was real life, I would call the police, but since I'm not actually going to be in physical danger by selecting this option and pressing the button, I am going to go to the portal. Alright. The path I took was a familiar one by now. By the way, am I going to want to save scum? This save I actually want to keep. Hang on, let me save here. I'm going to load this and copy it to a different file to make sure I don't lose it. Give me just a moment. Is there a... I don't know if I might want to mess with the quick save one. Autosaves. Okay, this game has autosave. I was not aware of that. Let me just go to the last page. There we go. And back to business. Alright, and let's see. I've been recording for actually 24 minutes in this video. And I have entered a new physical area. So this feels like a decent place to end it off with another feeling of cliffhanger. Yeah, let's do that. My name is Stupid. This has been Angels with Scaly Wings. In the next part, we're going to see what's going on at the portal and possibly, like, get into a lot of trouble. And I will see you all later.